for y'all, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the On the Job Training Podcast. This is episode number 3. Hey, man, first of all, man, look, show me some love, man. Show me some love, man. Boy. Hey, this family we got in the house, y'all. This family right here. This show is going to be special to me because, like I said, man, these two gentlemen here with me are like family. First of all, before I get started, let me say again, thank you very much for you guys outpouring of just positive, feedback as in regards to the show. I think it's been 2 weeks in now, and we got almost 100 subscribers, and I don't know how many views. And man, it's just a testament to you guys supporting what's positive, man. And you see the vision. If you have not subscribed to the show, please hit that red subscribe button and be a part of the family. Like, this is what it's all about. I'm trying to grow this thing for us as a community, so that way we can, share our opinions and share our stories. These guys are special to me, man. And one of the things that I enjoy most about them is the family aspect. These are two educated black brothers who are out in the community doing positive things. And I want to give you guys a round of applause for everything that you do, man. Your family. So, Soviet, you work at the post office.
Yeah. I've been working at the post office since 2006. Something I was doing on the weekends, summers. My degree is in education. Began teaching high school math, and got my master's degree. So I'm currently an administrator, assistant principal at Humble Middle School. But like Dre said, we met at the post office. Been kicking it ever since. And when Andre approached me, when Andre asks you to come out and do something for him, it's not a yes or a no. It's what time do I need to be there? So that's why I'm here.
That's what's up. And that man right there, both of these gentlemen are special, man. But this is a special individual. If you understand what that means, man. This is gonna sound crazy, right? I don't know if you guys have experienced this as you come up and when you come up, right, and you're a kid and you're in your environment and around the people that you kind of grew up with in your neighborhoods and your city, you become close with people, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, those same people don't turn out to be who they thought you were, or who you necessarily are like as well. You just grew up together, and you guys become close, but maybe they're not a representation of you.
Right. We all grew up with those type of guys.
Exactly. And when I met Dave, I was at a point in my life where I'm a wild individual. I've done some wild things. And when you meet two special people like these individuals, it makes you take record of the things that you're doing in your life and how you're moving and the effect that you have on everybody around you. And when I saw Dave, he was a reflection of what I wanted to be. So from that moment on, I just told him that, hey, man, you my best friend, huh? Whether you want to be or not. And we've been rocking ever since, man. Yeah. And we support one another anytime anybody has anything going on. And it's all love. But tell them what you do, Dave, because you have a lot of things going on. I did some research last night, and I didn't even know you had a podcast, man.
Yeah, I do. It's a little different journey for me. I'm not a postman. I've kind of been an honorary postman without having to deliver, They've taken me in from the jump. But I guess it seemed like we all met playing basketball, But my journey, I didn't go to school for education, but I ended up in education. My concept was to go into business, so I went to Alabama A&M, followed my brother, and went for business management and did different businesses throughout that time. And once another situation, followed my brother to Texas and just started doing some picking up some jobs here and there and started substituting. And substituted in special education and never left since. Like, got hired onto that same position I substituted, had certification, and then right now, I'm a transition specialist. I work with students with disabilities transitioning out of high school. So
Wow.
helping them get jobs, get into schools, things like that. So
I told you these were some good people, man. So yeah, you have kind of a very unique situation,
Right.
in regards to that. You've been in RCA for an extended period of time,
Right.
and because of your dedication to teaching, you haven't chosen to take that next step and go regular. Can you
yeah.
explain?
People always think
Yeah.
I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? When my turn came to become regular, I was already 6, 7 years into the education system, so I had that time vested, towards my retirement. So when the time came for me to turn regular at the post office, I was like, look, y'all can skip me, go to the next person. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to become regular. I just want to keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And they were like, look, this is a unique situation. We've never seen this, but all this work you put in over the years speaks for itself. We can't afford to not have you, so we'll let you keep doing what you're doing. So
Wow.
that's how it's been, man.
How difficult has it been?
It's
for you
difficult, working 5 days a week in the school, working Saturdays at the post office, and we picked up Sundays with Amazon. So I was basically working 7 days a week, man. And it's a struggle, but it's something I enjoy doing for my family. I'm a hustler. I grind. No complaints. Get up and go to work every day.
Yeah, man, that's beautiful, man. Dave, you and your wife started a company called Eat Good.
yeah.
Which is a plant-based. You guys.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we do a plant-based food company called Eat Good Houston. The website's called Eat Good Houston, but it's just called Eat Good. So I've been vegan, plant-based for over 15 years now. It's just my lifestyle now. When I first started, it wasn't as easy. It was easy for me because I got my mentality going, but as far as the options that are available, it wasn't just that accessible. So I had to figure out how to cook myself, and I just got good at it. And when I met my wife, I was always in that journey of saying I'm gonna open up a restaurant. When I was little, I said I was gonna open up a restaurant, a jazz club,
Wow.
and like so that's what's coming to be. That's what's coming to fruition. So, but when I met my wife, and we got married, it's exactly what I needed. You know what I'm saying? So like push me to that next step and focus me onto what we need to do.
Yeah.
And our mission is exactly to. Let me tell you this story. My wife's grandmothers both died of colon cancer, right? Our grandfather, we recently found out had cancer before he died, and it's in the history. It's in our culture that people are dying young before they should. Diabetes, high blood pressure, all these things, So I didn't want to pass that on to my children. So I made sure that we had a strong foundation with that health to make sure that they're going to pass it on and keep it on for generations, So
Wow.
we started the company. We did a podcast, like you said, Plants Changed My Life. It's about people's stories about how they changed their life using a plant-based diet. And there's some really good stories on there, and we also do the teaching. So that's why we take our time with stuff, because it's not about just making the money for us with this. It's about like actually teaching people in our culture how to eat and how to live,
Man, that's beautiful,
So,
man.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's coming from a really good place. And it's like you said, it's as long as I've known you, man. When you do something, it's never about the money.
Yeah.
It's about helping others and educating for the most part.
Yeah.
And having people have the knowledge and be self-sufficient in doing what they need to do. So
Yeah, it was. That's actually, I was okay with going into teaching because I took it as like I'm gonna learn how to do this in order to help up my business side of things, And like my brother, I got to a point where it's like you got to look at everything as a business move, and even your job, So got to a point where it didn't make sense to just go into business because I'm giving up a whole investment.
yeah.
So if I stop that now, it doesn't make sense. You got to look holistically. So that's why I stay teaching and still do the business too on the side. So we put work in.
Yeah.
Like my brother said, he's working 2 jobs.
Yeah.
I'm doing the same thing, 3 or 4 sometimes. It's just my own business. You know what I mean?
Wow, wow. And I don't know where you find the time of the day, man.
Yeah.
Let's go back a little bit and talk about you guys' experience. Both of you guys attended Alabama A&M University. Talk to me about your experience at an HBCU. As opposed, I know you guys probably had other opportunities to go somewhere else. How was that experience at an HBCU, and how that kind of molded you and you guys into you guys' future? Like, what significance did that play? Because I ask because my son now attends an HBCU at Grambling State, and I don't even know if it's these young kids. You know, HBCUs are on the rise now, and I always tell him, hey man, you need to get ingrained in the culture, man, because there's a lot of history there. And I always kind of push him to get out in the community, understand the school's history. Kind of tell me about you guys' experience.
Got it.
Man, like I said, I attended Alabama A&M University. That's where my mother and father went. So it was kind of a family thing. But once getting there, man, in HBCU, I would advocate for anyone to attend a HBCU, man. It's not about, it's about the education, man, but it's a family atmosphere, man. People take care of you. Man, those 4 or 5 years I was there was the brokest time of my life, but I had people around me that took care of me. I took care of them. I never needed any money. We took care of each other. It was family, man. That taught me, you know, just family. We never let the next man struggle. Everyone looks out for you, whether they know you or not. You go to Alabama A&M. Once you in, we're gonna take care of you. We're not gonna let you need anything. Whatever you need, we got. The faculty is looking out for you. They're watching over you, making sure you do the right thing. So there's the education aspect of it, but there's the family aspect of it that during those years, I could really say I grew up, learned a lot, and became a man. Those
sounds
years
like
right
you.
there. Out of my whole life, if I could take a 5-year, you know, just chunk of my life where I say I learned and grew the most, it'd be that time I was there.
It's life experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing, man. It's crazy things. He graduated in 2000 from A&M. You know, I came the next year. I graduated high school in 2000. And for me, I was up in Minnesota, and so 16 hours away. I just said I knew where I was going. I had like D2. I can go to play basketball in Minnesota for like D2, things like that. But I was like, no, I'm going to A&M. You know, it was more about it was more than basketball for me. Not only our parents but our uncles, a lot of family. You know, so I had to be down in Alabama, back to the roots. So that experience, I mean, my brother couldn't have said it any different. The people that I connected with there, I still connect with right now. And then on a level of just academics, I was in the School of Business, and I compare, like my wife, she went to University of Houston and Sam Houston, and not knocking these schools, because you can get something good from everywhere, but there's certain experiences that she just doesn't understand, you know. And when I got there, I just felt at home. Coming from Minnesota, we came from an inner city community, but when you see all black people all around you, it's just another feeling, man. So I mean, I wouldn't suggest anything different. You know?
You plan on kind of, I'm sure you plan on pushing your kids to go.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing about it though, I'm not pushing them to any type of education in general. If that's their route to college, then yeah, they'll see it. And the thing about it, they didn't tell us, our parents didn't tell us to go to Alabama A&M. It was just in our culture. We knew it, you know, so they see it with us. So if they make that choice, they make that choice.
Wow.
How does your son like Grambling, man?
I'm not sure. To be honest with you, I'm not sure that he's taken that opportunity to kind of understand the history. He's kind of an introverted person in general. So again, like you say, with the experience of your wife going to Sam Houston and some of these larger campuses, um, with a mixed
Yeah.
enrollment, um, mixed student body, I should say. He started off at Akron, then he went to Nevada, and these are larger campuses.
Right. Yeah.
So I think he was a little taken aback when he got there because
Right.
it is a smaller
It's small.
environment.
Yeah, smaller.
But I can honestly say that these coaches in particular and all the people that are on campus and associated with the school have taken the time to show him that they care about him. And it's
Right.
not just a basketball
basketball.
factory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Man, it's something different when like I said, everyone around you is black. But not only that though, everyone around you is black and they're wise.
exactly.
You know, intelligent. You might have a cat from Chicago who's straight up looks like a Chicago cat that's on the streets,
Mhm.
but he's in class like answering questions, writing papers better than anybody on there.
Yeah.
You know, so like man,
It's almost
all
like
these
you
cultures
get
and-
there and you see things from the same perspective.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you're around like-minded people.
Exactly, yeah.
And you guys share that shared experience, and you're connected.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it almost seems like you're insulated when you get
Right.
down there.
You
Yeah.
are insulated, man.
Yeah.
That's the perfect word.
Yeah.
With both of you gentlemen being in education, what are some of the things that you see with today's kids? Are there any concerns that you have in the way that these students are going about kind of their day to day, as far as in regards to education? Some of the things that are maybe distractions for them. What are some of the more what are some of the more promising things that you see from the generation of kids that you are teaching right now?
Yeah, man. It's kind of a
Because they
you
are
know,
different from us.
They're different, man.
Yeah.
They're different, and it's easy to, for me, I have to take a step back sometimes because it's easy for me to be like, man, these kids are different. They don't understand. But when I take a step back, man, they're no different than us, man. They just growing up in a different situation. They got a lot more access to technology. We didn't have the social media, so we're fighting that battle.
You think social media is a detriment, or
I mean, it could be, and it could be, used as an advantage, but it's which way it falls, because it
you
could
think
be a
parents
distraction.
play a part in kind of guiding our children because it's new to us too?
It's new to us,
Yeah,
right?
so should we-
And it's crazy because it's new to us, but it's all they know, So
Yeah.
really, we're learning from them.
Yeah.
About that aspect of it. Like, in the school system, teachers are trying to, we got to keep up with the times. You know what I'm saying? These students are growing up with iPads, cell phones. So why not use it to our advantage? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they kind of know more about it than us. So it's got to be a partnership. We got to learn from them. They got to learn from us. We could teach lessons through social media sometimes,
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I see the outcome. I came from a time, I guess my age, I remember in 4th grade, we first got Apple IIs. And we was already typing on typewriters, learning how to type, but the Apple IIs came and that was the first computers, And like that process, so I came in with the not the understanding, but I came in with the introduction of these computers,
Yeah.
So now I see the outcome, and it's easy for us to judge what's going on with the students because we know the beginning and we know without, Even when I went to college, there's a one phone on the end of the hall that we had to use to call home, So we used phone cards to call home. So now, I remember me and my partner up in Minnesota, we were like, man, it'd be dope if you could just like talk to somebody and they're right there, the face, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But now
yeah.
it's here,
Yeah, it's here.
So like, it's definitely there's a big hindrance, but like Sophie said, we got to figure out how to not only for the children but for ourselves because we're addicted too,
Yeah. So
Um,
I meant to ask you since both of you are from the inside, you both are educators. What's the most important thing as parents that we can do to ensure that our children are not only successful in the classroom but successful in life, based on you guys' experience and what you've seen and what you guys implement in your own home? What's the most important thing that we can do to kind of make sure these kids are on the right path?
Man, what I try to instill, in my own kids, and kids that I work with on a daily basis in the schoolhouse, is not the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s, man. That's gonna get you to a certain point in life, but that's not what's gotten me to where I am. You know what I'm saying? It's not how smart I am, or it's just being like you. You're a coach, man. You coached your daughter today. There's a word called coachable. You know what I'm saying? Ability to be coached, man, and willing to be coached and learn, not thinking you know everything. So that to me takes you farther in life than the ABCs and the Pythagorean theorem, man. Nobody's ever asked me, the Pythagorean theorem, but with me, I learn. I try to learn something every day. That's what I tell my kids. Try to learn something every day. I could learn something, man. I was sitting out here out front, man, crackhead on the street, man. I can learn something from them, man. He just walking up, just have a conversation, man. That's the type of person I am. I talk to everybody. I try to learn something. I'm gonna learn something from you. I learned something by walking in the studio, just watching him set things up. I sit back, observe, and try to learn, man. That's called being coachable, man.
Yeah. Man, for me, it's be involved. As a parent, it's a community. Like when we hear these cliche words, it's for a reason. I tell that to the students all the time. If you hear something over and over, you better start paying attention to it. So it's a community, and we have to not only the thing about it. We both teach in I guess not necessarily inner city schools, but they're schools that have, Houston. It's the terrains is different.
Yeah.
So our schools are Black and Hispanic, and so the thing about that community is that we also have to teach parents sometimes, as teachers.
Yeah.
And it's many times where nothing super specific, but you're calling home because a student might not be present most of the time. Attendance is low. And you call home and the student's right there asleep, but the parent might not get a phone to them, So and when it's school time. So as an adult and as a man, I'm trying to talk to this man because I know I might have to. I don't have time to teach the parent right now. I have to teach this child right now. But I don't know. We need systems in place where we're also able to teach the families because it is a community. When I say community, it's not on only the parent. It's on the teachers. It's on a place like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A studio is open to different places that can teach people.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
That's
It's
exactly what we're doing at the moment.
Exactly.
Right,
Exactly.
right,
Exactly.
right.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that's just an example of how learning just doesn't take place in a classroom with some desks and rows, man. I could probably, after this show, tomorrow go to work, pull up this podcast, and the kids would learn something. You know what I'm saying? Through YouTube, social media, whatever the case may be. You don't have to be sitting in a desk and rows to be learning, man.
Yeah.
A classroom is everywhere,
Yeah, it is, and it's. I think a big part of that is communication. Because if somebody if an 18-year-old young boy comes in and just sees it and walks away, there's no communication that took place. You know what I mean? So therefore, he doesn't know what to take from that situation because he doesn't have a question to ask him or the conversation. Us coming out of this conversation, we're gonna learn something because we're speaking, and that goes into, like I said, things. Whenever you hear things over and over again, you better start paying attention to it. They speak about different ways of learning, but in the school system, we got to realize it wasn't built for us. But we're in it, and that's why I tell students it makes no sense not to get a diploma. Use the game, play the game, and then you can play your own game. You know what I mean? So like when we're out here and you don't take advantage of it, you're gonna put yourself in a position we've all climbed up hills, but it doesn't make sense now. Each generation has taken a step to kind of like ease up that hill. But one thing I will say is it goes back to a question earlier. the thing I like about this group of youth
Yeah.
is that there's no there's no there's no fear. You know what I mean? And that could be a bad thing for something
Yeah,
sometimes.
I look at them and I
No,
kind of
that's true.
admire them because
Yeah.
they
That's
just
true.
jump out there, man.
Yeah,
Jump
yeah.
out there. They not afraid, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
They're not
zero
afraid,
fear.
man.
With all these young kids, and we all might look at them and be jealous.
Right.
The Jake Pauls and the
yeah.
people that you these are people who are kind of not educated if you
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah,
look
yeah,
at it,
yeah.
but they're not afraid to jump out of there. But like you said, everywhere is a classroom.
Right.
So they learn the game from somebody.
They learning, man.
And that's what it's on. That's why it's our part, because since there's no fear, think about it. Our parents came from Birmingham and at Montgomery, right?
Yeah.
They came from a time where, like, my mother, Montgomery, she was in Selma to Montgomery March, bus boycott, things like that. They would literally walk and say to a sign and say no colors, right? And then walk around to the color section. This group of this generation wouldn't do that. And we kind of get to a point where we say certain thing because like we came from police 80s and 90s, so like real police brutality. You know what I mean? So like when it comes to us, I remember when I first came to Houston, Minnesota's like a real bad police spot. You know, when I first came to Houston, I'd be driving, right? And when I see a police pull up behind me, I'm like, oh, they got me, right? Didn't do anything. I just, oh, they got me. I had an anxiety just seeing the police officers, right, or police car, and then they
PTSD.
roll right by me,
Yeah.
and I'm like, man, they didn't stop me.
Surprised that you didn't get
Yeah,
stopped.
yeah. So I would change things up. We'd say, oh, sit white, you know, like change things up because of that system. But this group don't do that, and we gotta, if we can teach them the actual game, along with that no fear, they'll be dangerous.
I'm with you, but I think they're learning their own game. Because I want to go back to what you said. I don't necessarily think that these kids today won't. Because if you look at BLM, how many young kids, 20-year-olds, were out there in the
Right.
streets a couple years ago? Like, there's a way that they advocate now.
Right.
They advocate through social media, and if need be, them young kids will get out in the
They'll
street
get
too.
out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll get out there. It's kind of our generation that was the ones who were
Yeah,
a
that's
little
what I'm saying.
hesitant
Yeah,
to
yeah,
actually
yeah.
go because
Right.
of that PTSD that you
Yeah,
speak
yeah,
of.
yeah, yeah.
We get our ass beat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we were getting our ass beat.
Yep.
But look at this, man. Like only thing about that is
But with
that
these cameras, the availability of these
Yeah.
cameras and things nowadays, like, you know, they advocate in a different way. So,
But only thing I think about that is that, and I didn't know better till now. You know what I'm saying? Just like I could look, it's strange. People hate to hear me say it. My family came from Alabama, right? My parents and grandparents, everything. But when we look back, and I tell people of that generation that integration hurt us more than it helped us, they don't like to hear that. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that we know that we can teach them how to play, how to maneuver. You know what I'm saying?
True.
That could prevent the same thing from happening. We're still in the same situation. Actually, it's a little worse. You know what I'm saying? In some cases, but I get what you're saying. It's just that they need it's. Let me just tell you how to maneuver, and then I'm gonna get out the way. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But like you said, the conversation needs to be had. The dialogue needs to be had.
Yeah,
Whether they take it or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
I
up
got
to
that, yeah.
us to put it out there. Let me
Yeah.
tell you my experiences.
Right.
How
yeah.
you know.
And I preach that to my kids every day, man. My daughter, you know, is scary because she's about to graduate from high school. But like you say, man, they have no fear, man. I like some of the things she does and says. I'm like, wow, you know, my day that just couldn't fly. You know what I'm saying? It's just normal for her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, take that lack of fear and that energy and just channel it the right way. And this generation could do something big, man.
Yeah. So speaking of your kids, man, as long as I've known you, man, you've been an excellent father. As long as I've known you, you've done it alone. You're a single father. Talk to me, man, about some of the hardships that, man, not to mention the hours that you put in working. What are some of the hardships of kind of doing this this thing by yourself? Because I know there's probably some people in similar situations. How you go about navigating this whole thing, man, throughout the years?
Man, I mean, it's I've enjoyed it really, man. You know, the biggest thing is time. You know, that's one of the things you can't replace. You know, working so many hours, I can't get back that time that I've worked. So I've tried to scale it back a little bit to spend more time with my kids because I've seen that that they're growing up, man. You know, like I said, my daughter, she's about to graduate. She's about to move on. So my two boys, try to spend as much time with them. But man, I just put my head down, go to work, keep my mouth shut, and do what I gotta do. It just comes down to being a man and doing what you gotta do. You know, you can't really think about it. You just gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah,
man.
most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
And I want to commend you, man, for being the man that you are. That's admirable.
I mean that goes back to the community. It's wherever he's slacking, that's where I have to pick up.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
where my sister has to pick up. My mother, and we do
Shout
that.
out to Winner, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's David's Soviet sister. That's a beautiful human being, man.
Yeah.
Did she attend a?
Nah,
Alabama?
she actually
She
went
attended
to.
an HBCU,
Yeah,
but it wasn't
yeah.
Alabama A&M. She went to Alabama State University, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
also, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to me about you guys are really close, man. And I wanted to ask both of you this question individually. How proud of you? How proud of each other are you guys? Because I know you. I don't know if you guys talk about it as men.
We don't talk about it, but I mean, of course, I'm proud of my little brother growing up. I mean, he probably thought I was hard on him. Did I push him? Sometimes he didn't want to be pushed, of course. You know, I challenged him. Sometimes he didn't want to be necessarily be challenged. But hopefully in the end, he knows it was for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And I treat my sons the same way. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I gotta, Dave will tell you that little Soviet man, he a handful, man. You know, I'm hard on him, but it's for a reason. Just as a young black male, man, you know that's how we, it's tough love, but that's how I kind of treated Dave growing up, man. I tried to teach him the way, I was hard on him. We was playing basketball in the grass. I push him, foul him, tell him no foul. But as I seen him come up, it was that toughness in him that I saw. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm definitely proud of him, man. He's got two beautiful girls, a wife. He's raising. He's, one income. I know that's tough.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he does what he has to do, man. It's just being a man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it wasn't easy. There's a couple people that just put me through the works. You know what I'm saying? But even to the day, we go. Y'all seen him on the court.
Yeah.
He's extra hard on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm used to it again, and that taught me toughness. Cause anybody else say something to me, you can't be worse than my brother. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's nothing. So, and I always went he was always like this straight, direct way of going about things. And I was total opposite. So even though I heard constantly okay, this is what you do, you set up, I listened all the time, even though I might not have took that action. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was pride is always been there because it's that's my big brother. I always wanted to go with him. That's why I followed him everywhere. Went to A&M. It was strange because right when I got there, of course he just left. I got there, so that's Little Sove,
Yeah.
And I didn't care, even though I knew I had to make my own name, but you can call me Little Sove anytime, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it was, man.
That's beautiful, man. Hey, I don't have any siblings, man.
You don't have any. I didn't know that.
Yeah. My mother raised me by herself, man. I was really tight with my little cousins, all
But
my
no
mom's
brothers and
and sisters.
man.
No, man, I
That's-
spent a
that's-
lot of time by
You
myself.
just don't strike me as an only child, man.
I guess I kind of make up for it in the opposite way. I spend a lot of time alone, man,
Yeah.
thinking, but I always admired a siblings relationship, man, and the love you guys. And I can't imagine seeing you from when you guys were small and watching you grow into this point, man. Watching you get married, watching you have your
Yeah,
children.
because you was at his wedding. You was at
Yeah,
his wedding.
yeah. I mean, it's beautiful, man, and the support and love you have for one another. I don't understand how I'll talk to some brothers and sisters, and they live on opposite ends of the country. They don't even talk to each other. Like I could then be.
Yeah. I
Right.
mean, our
I
family.
never understand that.
Our family's never been like it. And the crazy thing, we don't talk every day. But all it
And
takes
that's our
is-
relationship. I don't
Yeah,
have
right.
to see y'all for
Exactly.
a
Right.
month,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
2 years, but every
Yeah,
time we
right.
see each other, it's love, man. If
for
anybody
sure.
calls, we right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
No
Yeah,
questions.
yeah.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go.
This might be a little personal, man. The ladies love you, man. And y'all know who I'm talking about, man. This folks been waiting on this podcast to air. I don't want to get too personal, man, because I don't never ask you about none of this stuff. But I know you're busy. The
Man,
people know how busy you are. But how do you handle?
I mean, that's a struggle, man, because like you said, I'm raising.
The man answered the question before I even
I
asked.
know where you're going with it, man.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
And that's been a struggle, is trying to hold down a consistent relationship, man. Cause I'm raising these kids, I'm working, trying to do things for them. So that's where my focus is, man. So a lot of times when a young lady comes in, it's like they immediately they wanna, what can I do to help? How can I fix this?
Yeah. How
But-
difficult
but-
for it is
but
you?
Like, who says I need to be fixed?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you take offense to that.
Right. I don't take offense, but I think they take offense because I don't necessarily, I think women love you until they figure out they can't change you, man. You know what I'm saying? Then they don't like you anymore. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? You know what's real? But you know what's real? You know what's real? That's the difference between when I deal with these two. These is grown ass men. These are grown ass men who live grown ass lives. They don't placate to anything or anybody. They have certain convictions and they stick with those. That's
Right.
why y'all are admirable human beings. But yeah, man, that's huge right there. And you, that's your family.
Yeah,
man.
but
that's the most important thing
I'm
to you.
always
So
open to hang out, go out, have some drinks, have some fun for any women out there that what I'm saying, that's listening.
Yeah.
I'm always open.
Okay.
But I feel like sometimes it is my fault that I can't always. It's hard to give one woman the attention that she needs, man. So I can't always do that, man.
And you already spread pretty thin,
I'm
man.
spread thin, man, but
But you always have.
That's what it is. I'm happy though, man.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I know
so.
you are, man. I this is my journalist hat.
Yeah,
Don't
I
be
feel
mad
you.
at me, man. I love you, man. I couldn't go without asking this. Dave, before we go, tell me about your beautiful wife and your beautiful family, man, and how much that's changed you. Because I remember the Dave who sat in front of the computer making beats. He had all the time in the world, man. If I call him, he'll come on over, man. I ain't doing nothing. Talk to me about how this has changed you, in what direction it does it. Do you ever get stressed out, or does it constantly keep you motivated?
I mean, it's so many stages, man. It's just the marriage is a stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So had to navigate. That was a little easy for me. Navigate okay, this is a completely different person that I had to adjust and figure out how do you do a life together. But truth be told, man, first year of a child was the hardest year of my life. Not because of the child, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because of how we had to figure out this relationship, you know?
Yeah.
And it was the hardest year of my life. You come from two different households that you grow up in.
Mhm.
You run things a certain way in those households, and now you try to put them together. How does that ever work, you know?
Yeah.
But so as a man, I took on the responsibility of not getting that stress because I was getting stressed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was getting upset, angry, but then I said, okay, well, reality be told. Just like Sophie said, with until they realize they can't change you. I think we have to take that on too and realize we can't change that woman. You know,
True.
not through words. You know what I'm saying? I'll be try to speak with my wife, who's and I'll speak about her in a second. But I realized that that's not for me to do. You know, and I realized just like Soviet affected me or my father affected us, whatever I do is might change her, and gradually she started changing things that were stressful for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, one, you got to be patient, and but my wife, man, if
Keys to a successful marriage. Number one is patience.
The kids will teach you patience too,
Man.
man. Especially a girl, man.
Oh,
I
man.
know you-
Oh
I know
man.
you,
I'm gonna cry right now just
yeah,
thinking
man.
about it.
I mean, the difference, you can speak to this, man, the difference between raising a girl and a boy, man. Them girls teach you
Man,
patience.
so talk to me about it, man, because people don't understand,
People
man.
don't
Like
understand that,
every man
Right,
wants to have a son
exactly.
that's of his image,
Right.
that thinks and walks and talks, and
Every
just
man
like
wants that. In the back of his mind, whether he admits it or not.
Yeah.
Somewhere a man wants that.
yeah.
And I wanted that, you know.
I wanted that
my
until
first
I actually
child-
identified it in him, and I said, maybe you crazy just like I was. Maybe that's not exactly what
Right.
I wanted, man.
Yeah.
No, but I love both of my sons, man,
Definitely.
and they understand that. But each of them also know. All my kids know, man. When that, and this is, I have a daughter that's adopted.
Right.
And here pretty soon in the future, man, I plan on having her birth mom on, and we talk about that whole experience. She's 10 now, and that's the love of my life, man. That's my favorite person in this whole wide world, and she ain't even from me. Yeah, man. Just something about I love to see a relationship, and I'll go back. I have this hat on today because, like you said earlier, I coached my girls' 10-year-old daughter's girls team in the playoffs today, and they won their last game.
That's good, man.
Yeah, man. But we took them, had a skating party afterwards, and just seeing how close they got, because my daughter had never played any organized sports or anything, and I thought that, if she's 10, if she ever wants to be in middle school or aspire to, all her brothers and sisters, like, they excel in basketball. Every one of my kids plays, when they're able to, they play college basketball. So I'm
Right.
like, her last name is Eyes. It might be something that she might think of in the
Yeah.
future, man. So I threw her in, and she loved the experience, man.
That's
But
good.
anyway, back at that skating rink afterwards, I love seeing young girls bond with each other, especially young girls, because we know how they get after once they reach high school and it
Right.
all gets
Yeah,
catty.
Man.
Man.
Like I was saying, man, I was, typical, man. I want a boy. But the story goes, man, none of my kids did I find out. We never found out what they were going to be.
Oh,
We
wow.
just waited till they were born to find out. So, I'm a man. I'm like, it's a boy. It's a boy. I can't wait. It's a boy. We about to name him Soviet. Well, I don't want a girl. I want a boy. So get to the hospital. The doctor taking her. I look down there. I said, that's a girl.
Yeah.
Man, immediately I changed, man. Just something clicked in me. I said, I wouldn't trade this for the world, man. So, and that girl, she taught me a
I
lot
wonder
of
what that
patience,
is, man. Is that
I
a
don't know
love?
what it
Is that a love for your mother? Where does that come from? Because it does change you. Hector was
change you,
here.
man,
Hector was
know.
here last week, and he almost cried talking about his daughter. And he
Yeah.
loved his son is named after him. But
Right.
you talk about his daughter, and the man just melts, man. And
I
don't.
mean,
Where does that come from?
She's just taught me patience, man. You know, obviously I raised her different than my boys, but you know, I feel like I don't have to be as much patient with them. I could just, you know, get on them, get on their head,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. But dealing with her, I gotta just think, you know. I'm like, okay,
Is she the most like you?
she's very different than me, man. My sons are more like me, you know. So I go back and forth with them, but her, she's very, very smart. She she's into books. She's reading. She into the anime thing. She likes to read. I don't like to read. She's just very different than me. So,
Yeah.
you know, but I wouldn't trade that, having her first, you know, for anything in the world. Having that daughter first, because it's helped me to raise my boys, develop a little patience with them. So.
Yeah. You talk to us, Dave. You
You got two of them.
you in the house
Not
with
bad.
3 women, man.
Man, I mean, I don't know. And then my older daughter's 6 now, and she's the one that tests the patience the most.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. What you asked that question? What is it? It's I think the bright side of it. They're the ones that's gonna test you the most. But the upside of it just seems like there's no ceiling. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I get upset with her, and then right after that she comes. It's strange, man.
Yeah.
With these girls, that right after she comes and just act like nothing happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it taught me, okay, well, one, like you don't hold on to things like that, you know. And I had to question myself, like, cause the crazy thing about it is, Soviet's daughter, Ashley, like, again, I wasn't married like when she was younger, you know. So I was like always with her, and her raising her compared to like my daughters,
Yeah.
it's completely different.
Yeah.
And it's so that was kind of easy, and it tested me because I had to kind of figure out different. I had to question like, okay, how come this don't work?
Yeah.
Like when I
Why
typically
y'all ain't
do
acting
this.
like Ash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to come up with different ways and question. Okay, well, do I be more kind? Do I be more like patient with her? Do I
Yeah.
speak
But what
with
a lot
her?
of people don't understand is when you have kids, you have to take a different approach with each and
Yes,
every one.
sir.
Like
Man.
you
Yes,
can
sir.
be
Right.
that authoritarian figure and just have that general like I'm dad, this is yada yada.
That's
But when
tough.
individually, when there's real issues,
Yeah.
Right.
you can't
Nah.
come at every child the
same
same
way.
way.
See,
Yeah.
I found that out. I found that out because the thing about her, and I
Because they
love it. in
don't
her.
react the same.
They
Yeah,
don't.
I love it in her because from birth, man, it was not from birth. So once she was like able to sit up,
Mhm.
like she wouldn't go to sleep, right? So I had to put my hand on her back. I'm like, lay down, and she'd get right back up, like what?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
From that, still to this day, the higher I go, the higher she goes, and she doesn't stop.
Oh,
So I was
wow.
like, wait, I gotta stop because if I don't stop, then like I'm the more, of course I'm stronger. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I have to be able to stop. So after that point, I'm like, what do I do? It was like a question of like, what do I do?
Yeah,
So I had
but-
to come up with different ways of kind of parenting her. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But that's a crystal ball into the future because you know
Yeah.
how, she's gonna react to certain
Yeah.
things as
Yeah,
they grow older.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
just
yeah,
probably
yeah.
her
Right.
nature. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. And that's what I say. I love it about her, even though we got to deal with it right now. But once she hones that into something, it's gonna be crazy. You know?
Yeah. You saying that when you guys have to reach out to parents, right? In the school, you're assistant principal.
Yeah.
And you called and notified a parent about something that is going on. How frustrating is it when you have these parents who say, "I know my kid, and they didn't do this," and you know very well what's going on because we do it as parents. Like
Yeah.
just like you said,
Right.
I know my kid, and
Right.
so kind of tell me a little bit of insight about that.
Man, that's one of the most frustrating things, man. A situation occurs that I'm looking at, and we got cameras in the school, so I've shown a parent on camera their kid doing something, and the parent was like, "Nah, it must be something else. It can't be. I know my child."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
That footage look a little grainy.
right. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be like, ma'am. I know you know your child, but I also spend 8 hours a day with your child. Because I know my son. He acts a different way with me than he does with his mom, than he does with Dave, than he does with my mom.
Yeah.
So, I know kids will play their parents, man. So, I tell this parent, look, I feel you, I know, but your child acts different at school than they do at home. You know what I'm saying? Because my son just,
Straight up, yeah.
Straight up,
But, I mean, we got to realize, or parents have to realize that like you said, we're with your child really more than you.
Yeah.
Because when they go home, they're at home. So they're home by themselves sometimes, So if there's anybody that knows your child, it's probably the teacher or the principal that's sitting right in front of them,
Yeah.
But
And it's cool when you get one of them kids because you see them playing their parents,
Yeah.
trying to play you. So you have a separate conversation with them. Look, man,
Right.
I know what you're doing.
But like when
Let me help you out.
See.
Since you playing this game, let me give you a little bit of game on how you need to play this
Yeah,
game if
yeah.
you're gonna navigate it like
Yeah,
that.
see, my son, little Soviet, he in 6th grade, and I get calls from the school sometimes, and immediately I'm like, yep, he did it.
Yeah.
He did it. I
Yeah,
know
'cause
him.
he know
he
your
did
kid.
it. I
Yeah.
know him. You know what I'm saying? So
But let me ask y'all, so like, I think we see this often in the schools is that I know us growing up, from our perspective, if we did something in school, I know my mom is gonna look at the adult and listen to the adult first, and then come back out of behind scenes,
but see, that's changed.
So
That's
like,
changed.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. Why?
I don't know what's changed, but like he said, when I was growing up, I didn't get in a lot of trouble in school, but
right.
I got in some trouble.
Yeah.
I did. I was a typical boy. I didn't. And if that school called my mom, she didn't want to hear my side of the story.
Right.
She believes the teacher. He did it. But like you say, things have changed. Every time I call a parent, it's like they listen to the child's side a lot.
so
know what I'm
should you?
saying?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
Is it our generation
it's,
coddling our kids, or is it just a
I
mistrust
think
of
that might be part
authority?
of it. I mean, it's a mix of both.
Because you said you had PTSD from
Yeah,
so maybe you don't necessarily, us in our generation don't trust
the authority.
That's true.
authority
Right, right.
figures. So I think it's a mixture of
yeah.
both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
true.
we some punk ass parents,
Yeah,
and we
you're
coddle
right,
our kids.
right.
That's why they spoiled and they get whatever they want. I don't know.
We're raising our kids different than we was raised.
Yeah, man.
I gotta admit it, but
Because we
they
want
got
them to have
everything
it.
at their fingertips, man.
Yeah.
Right there in the palm of their hands. With them cell phones especially, they got everything in the palm of their hands, man.
Yeah. Ah, man.
So it's rough, man. But
Yeah.
hey,
Hey, man.
and you, are you even putting your girls?
Nah. So
Yes.
our both of our daughters, our daughter at 6, she would be in school right now, but we homeschool.
Oh, okay.
My wife stays at home, and
Yeah, you've been
That's
doing that
the-
from the beginning.
yeah, from
Yeah.
the beginning, like we was serious, and that's why I'm glad you spoke about my wife. I couldn't ask for anything better, like she's committed to. She made more than me when we first met, so gave up that salary and said, no, we're going to put it into the children,
Yeah.
and that shifted. You said everything. I used to be available, just like you said, like anything going down, let's hoop, let's go make these beats, let's go record, whatever it is, I was there. But
When you saw the dedication that she put into
yeah,
raising
I
your
had
kids,
to. I had to.
you had to match that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that. Her as a mother is something that I don't know that I've ever experienced. Man.
I haven't seen it. I mean, cause even our friends, we don't see it, And she taught. I'm gonna tell y'all this. Like, I didn't know any better with. Even though my brother tried to teach me certain ways and certain things I did that it wasn't the best moves.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the cars and everything. I used to get cars, a bunch of cars, you know,
Yeah.
and not the correct way. I go into debt. So I had a Lexus IS 240 stick, kind of rare car. And
Man, you supposed to sell me your half car, half truck, man.
oh yeah, that El Camino. But nah, like I got the car, making payments on it, thinking that's the thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we got married. She was like, nah, we don't make payments. She bought the car. It's like paid the car off. You know what I'm saying? We don't do debt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So from there, I said, okay, I gotta step my game up. You know, so we make it work with one income, and we teach our children at home because we feel like we're the best ones that could teach them.
Yeah.
It's our responsibility first, from birth to 5 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Parents got to put in work.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's what we've seen. But I mean, with our family. But after that, I mean, you can make choices to go into the system, but we just chose not to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the big difference. It's like we said, it's a good thing that these youth don't have fear, but they're missing the basics. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And they from 0 to 5, they're just missing something.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and give the people your podcast info,
Oh, yeah.
man, because you spitting some heavy game right now, man.
It's Plants Changed My Life. And that podcast is not even about us. It's about everyone else's story. So, plantschangemylife.com. You can get to it from there, or you can get to it from egoodhouston.com. That's what we do. We do teas. Working on a tea product, Ken Tea, which is loose leaf teas from Africa, and we're just trying to promote healthy living. You know what I mean? So that's it.
And you do pop-ups with your
Yeah, we do pop-ups whenever we're like Supreme or something. We don't come out often, so when we do, you gotta be there. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's it.
Okay. And Soviet, you want to give out your social medias or anything like
Man,
that?
I'm not real heavy in it. I'm on Instagram. That's about it. Soviet Threatt is just my name, you know. SOVIET THREATT. So yeah, that's how you can find me. Other than that, you can find me, you know, like I say, I'm at the post office. I'm working. I'm hooping. That's my life, man. I'm wherever my kids at. That's where I'm at. You know, I'm not hard to find. You know.
Yeah, and this episode is called Reach One, Teach One, man. I feel like that was an appropriate title, man. And I commend both of you gentlemen, man, for everything that you guys do in regards to helping our youth, man, because it seems like everything you do is not for you. And you're pretty selfless in that respect, man.
I appreciate it.
I applaud
Man,
y'all.
you
man.
as well, man.
I know.
You giving us, you know, props, but
You got good
man,
example.
you one
I
of
got
the
good
best
examples.
fathers I know, man. You know, always have been. So yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna continue to
Look up
do that.
You too.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, this is our episode, episode 3. Thank you to Dave and Soviet. Here, let me give out also. I want to shout out my girls team, man.
Give 'em a
yeah,
shout out.
Yeah.
Congratulations
Congrats.
to them. Yeah, it was my pleasure to coach you girls. I know a couple of the parents were watching, and you could show them this. It was my pleasure to. I know a lot of you girls. It was your first time playing any organized sport. I'm really glad that I could be a part of your journey into going into that in the future, man. And it was my pleasure to be your first coach. And, you know, I'm going to try to get a bunch of y'all back again next season, man. So be expecting a phone call. So congratulations, girls. Congratulations, Peyton. God bless y'all, man. I'll see you next time.
God bless.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace out.
Yeah!
I like that, man.